at what point and how did you get connected with Ornette Coleman?
Or with Ornette, a longtime collaborator of mine, Jordan McLean. He's a trumpet player, composer, arranger. Um, he was associate musical director on Broadway in a Broadway show called Fella on Broadway. And Ornette came to check out the show, and him and Ornette um, struck up a friendship. And I guess around 2008, I think Jordan probably had a conversation with Ornette about me, and Ornette wanted to meet me. So I was invited through my friend Jordan to meet him, and that's how I met him initially. Yeah.
And what was your working experience with him like? Would you say it's overall very positive?
Oh my God, life changing, all positive. One of the most incredible experiences of my life.
Mhm. He was,
Yeah.
I mean, he was an absolutely incredible musician. And like, I've didn't get into him until when you first started talking about him during one of our classes. It was probably drum lab, my first semester. I didn't know much about Ornette. And I started listening and I was like, it's incredible. And even the more out stuff, which is not usually my cup of tea, I always liked when Ornette did it.
What do you mean even more of the out stuff? Isn't it all pretty much out there?
Yes, but I'd say there's some arguably some of his music is a little more out than others.
It's true. It's true. I'll tell you. The funny thing, Scotty, is when I met him, um, I didn't, and I've been involved in jazz for so long and all my studies and this and that. And for whatever reason, of course, I knew of Ornette, but I did not know his music at all. I mean, at all. I couldn't tell you one Ornette tune. Um, I couldn't tell you that I knew one Ornette tune when I met him.
Hmm.
So one of the most incredible things for me that set the stage for my relationship with Ornette was early on in his home. He had a studio, and at the very beginning, my visits to his place, there would be a lot of musicians, that are in town, younger, older, that would kind of flock to his place, and he would have people over to play and jam, and I was invited to one of these, and and I wasn't even thinking about playing. I was just there.
Hmm.
I was hanging out in the living room and seeing all these amazing jazz musicians, young to old, go in and out of the studio, and he's in there playing, and sweating balls, like, outside of the studio. Just I'm sitting there and I'm seeing all these musicians practicing and asking each other, "Hey, do you remember that tune? And do you remember that tune? And how does it go?" Thinking that that's what he, God forbid, he might call a tune and they don't know, right?
Yeah.
Which is along the lines of what I was thinking too. And I wasn't considering even to go in there and play, but at a certain point, Ornette stuck his head out and called me in because Jordan told me, "Hey, Amir plays drums. You should let's have him in." And Ornette called me in, and I was scared shitless. I was, oh my God, I don't even know a single Ornette tune.
Were you playing out music at the time in general?
Sorry.
Were you playing more out music in general at that time?
No, I was playing a lot of electronica. I was playing jazz, but no, I would not say that. But what happened was I went in there, and I just I made a switch, and I was like, I'm just not going to sweat it. I'm just going to play and forget about what I know and what I don't know. And we played like that for about 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, and then we came out, and I walked after Ornette, and um, I told him, I apologized. I told him, like, Ornette, I'm so sorry. I have to tell you that I don't really know your music at all, and I feel so bad about it. And he took my hand. He took me by my hand, and he told me, "Well, this puts us on equal ground because I don't know any of your music as well. And what that means to me is that we can now make real jazz together. And that was it. That was like a life changing moment, mind blowing moment for me. I was just, jaw drop, speechless, and that was Ornette, my experience of Ornette, and that's what led to our collaboration and and our work together.
And how long did you work with him?
It was probably maybe a year and a half, 2 years.
Wow. So he just sounds like an incredibly just genuine guy who just really wanted to make good music. It seems like there was no ego there.
I haven't seen a shred of ego on Ornette in my life. The best individual. Oh my God. Yeah.
That's always great to hear. I love hearing musicians that have that selflessness and care more about the music than they do about themselves, because it seems like musicians a lot, you tend to hear horror stories about them being, overly arrogant. And I like to hear people who are just they really care about what they're doing, and they're not just, trying to, they have their thumb up their own ass about what they do.
That's not Ornette, man. Ornette deeply cared about the music, about humanity, about individuals in the room, about all of humanity. Constantly spoke about it in the most genuine ways, and that was one of the biggest gifts I got from it.